the president, me, the sheriff, and Tyrone. We were in Oakland. He had to come back home. I was so like bummed out because he left, Charles left, came back up here. I'm begging Charles not to come, president. I begged him not to come back here.
Yeah.
What are you going back for, Charles? They never got him on the case, ever, because we kept him safe. He was the president. Him and Cecil. Cecil's dead. A good woman killed him. Yeah. But we kept
I was
them.
gonna kill her too.
Yeah, we'll find her.
Yeah. But I was going down there.
We kept them safe. And I begged, I'm a grown man. And man, don't go back there. Why you go? Because we was having so much fun. We was having fun. I was going
that was the thing, you know, having fun.
I was coming from San Francisco to Oakland where they was. And then, because I'm Teamster, so I'm kind of working like in San Francisco, driving like I could work. Hey, I might not want to work this week, but I worked last week.
But see, that's the best thing he did was work.
You know? Yeah. And so, when he left and went back, I got married. And then I moved to Oakland from San Francisco. I left the girl, woman I was with. And just, hey, because he was old, 91 no more. So I got a 13 years younger than me woman.
She's a good one too.
Having them babies, you know, because I'm getting old now. I'm in my 30s. So, and I only got one child. So I had to, you know, move up quick. And so I would get a vacation. I'd come up here looking, seeing them with Charles. Why are you doing? Man, because I had heard so many stories getting arrested. He riding down the street at night by the kitten club. Police had the hose. He's hollering out the window, let them hoes go. The police pulls him over, takes him to jail. I'm coming, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's going on? I'm hearing, you know, you're going crazy. So I'm in this house. That's when he was at the condominium on Fruit Ridge. Yeah. Over on Fruit Ridge, that's where he's living there. So I'm there, why is it so goddamn dark in here? Him buying me phones or somebody else. And I said, hey, what are you doing? You got these pipes. Don't fire that shit up. I said, because they drug tested me. I don't want this shit in my system. Then I asked him, what's going on? Why do you messing with these police up here? You know, I said, why don't you come back to Oakland? Because he's living with his auntie. Come back to working at the door. He had a job.
He was blind.
I said, man, would you come back to Oakland, man? And he said, no, man, it's cool here. I'm having a problem with this broad and her daddy is. I said, you need a gun? He said, no. I said,
that's the one that where he got locked up.
Yeah, for
doing something to the dark.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. That, you know, he ain't did it.
Yeah,
you know, because I wasn't going for that.
No,
no,
he was with us.
Yeah.
I was in third grade. I've been with this man.
But what it was we were all the Majestics.
It was close.
It was all close because we were all leaders, you know. And so, even though he's the president, he's the head leader, you know, we know we ain't gonna let you lead us into no bull.
No, I was the only one y'all.
I'm telling you, man, he's a sucker. That boy, that right. Yeah, he's bad.
Hey, look, I never had to worry because I knew I tell anybody, hey, I got a bad name. I didn't do shit by myself. I didn't do none of it by myself. I had help. I had backup, and that's when you got a club. That's what you do. You help each other.
All you need to hear. Big little Majestics. Man, every one of us.
We got a horn. We put bum 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 bum. And you gonna come out your house.
Yeah.
All you gotta do, yeah. If you with your woman, you gonna come out your house. Cause somebody needs help.
She had a horn.
Yeah,
we can blow it right now on your car.
We still blow it right now. My wife say, why is Tyrone in Oakland? She said, well, there he out there blowing the V-lock.
That's what we call the V-lock. The horn.
I mean, get up. You
You
know?
know, if you don't say Viva Majestics, you blowing Viva on the horn. You know?
You can see me on Facebook. I put Majestics in the war. I'm the
Yeah,
warlord on Facebook.
They done kicked him off of Facebook because he talks. They done kicked him off of Facebook.
Yeah, they take that. He talks about Mark Zuckerberg. I call him Mark Zuckerberg. I say he's a Russian traitor. He's letting the Russians come on Facebook and he's taking the money.
They kicked him off. When they kick him off, they kick him off for like about 6 months. Then they bring him back on.
Yeah,
kick him off about 6 months. Bring him back on.
I just got back on. Yeah.
That just shows you.
Because I do political stuff. I get on there. I talk about, I just said, look at this shit here. Look at old body.
But you know the cool part about that is for what we know about Buster, we wouldn't know that he has the education that he has on all this political stuff. So this is, like I said, I realized, God, man, I fed him past that thing. You know, he's a monster, man.
You know who taught me?
Who?
Bobby Seale.
Is that right?
When we was in the
Well, that's what, you know, the Panthers are a political group, and they do political things. That's what Huey was being taught. Huey was taught by him.
Listen. Marvel's husband, when he was a captain before the police ran him off, he in 1969, Bobby's told him, he's a captain. He said, hey, when you come up here to Oakland, bring Buster with you. So I told Charles, he come down to the building. I said, he said, man, Bobby said he want to see you. I'm going to Oakland. He had that old white Mustang. Mm-hmm. And so I'll go with you. And so Charles said, where you going? I said, I'm going to Oakland. I'll be back. What the fuck you going to Oakland for? I said, I'll be back. I'm going to be all right. I said, Bobby Seale going to see me. He said, what? I said, I'm all right. I got a piece. You know, I'm cool. You know, so I had a little 25 automatic. Because Bobby and one time when Elder Cleaver came down, him and Charles got into it. Yeah. Charles told me, you better not come back now.
Where was that?
On 35th Street, yeah.
Eldridge Cleaver was on 35th Street?
Oh, he was in jail. He was a whining crybaby. So I guess to Oakland, that's when the car fell on me. And I'm all stitched up and stuff. Yeah. Bobby said, what happened, man? The police come on. No. Goddamn car.
They all of them was down there because they had to recruit. You know, it started in Oakland, Frisco, and then it trickled down to Sacramento.
Well, they wasn't supposed to have done anything. They supposed to have came to us first.
But see, that's what we felt.
They went what they did. They went over to City College,
and that's where they
recruited they bourgeoisie blacks.
And see the bourgeoisie blacks knew the political side of it. See, all of us didn't know nothing political, but what we were doing, because we was political about beating your you know.
But what we did, I knew that.
But see, that's what I didn't know that. I wasn't even worried about that.
We was going down to City Hall. Remember, we was going to City Hall,
you know?
And they was we go down to City Hall. They was trying to change things in the park then, and we go down there and raise hell.
Oh yeah,
and they leave. They leave us alone, you know. They was trying to change things there until we go down.
But see, that wasn't political to me. You know, this is about my hood, though. You know, folks. You know, so I'm gonna stand up for my hood.
Me and Charles just talk all the time. This is why we put the Majestics together. We put the Majestics together after that fight. They bust me in the back of my head with Bobby.
Yeah.
That's when that next day. I was over at Charles' house, across the street from American Legion, and we sitting there listening to jazz, because I used to go and steal a jazz album, West Montgomery, Yusef Lateef, John Coltrane, and we was plotting. When we left there, we didn't even have a car. We walked down, got Bo Slauson, because you and them had that little thing down there, and him and Sammy Nolan and them got there and went to Bird's house and told him we started the club. So I said, what's the name? What's the car club? What name is gonna be? Charles said, the Majestic. And I said, why that? He said, cause he had this book.
But see, that's when they was reading books.
He said, Majestic means big, strong, rock.
That's what we was.
That's what
Strong as a rock, though, bruh.
See, anybody who try to claim that name, you got to tell me what that stands for. You got to be here. You got to have your shit before 1966. See, and then anybody who's using that name, so I wish there was some kind of way I could sue 'em.
Well, you ain't got that name on the patent, so you can't sue nobody.
Well, I mean, hey,
No, that's the only way you can do it. You got to have it patented.
It's on the charter.
What that means?
City
Did you
Hall.
patent it? Did you patent it? If you ain't patented it, you ain't gonna get no lawsuits. That'd be a waste of money. You throwing good money with bad money.
Well, if the city Rooney, Chief Rooney, he had it written down that we was a car club.
No, it doesn't matter. You got to patent it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got
I ain't
to
gonna argue with you about that.
you got to take it down there. Patent that whole name, bam, and then you got to sign your name.
Yeah.
Then you got action.
Yeah. But see, I couldn't sign my name. But
Well, that's why they patent.
everybody had to sign. If I was gonna do it, the whole club had to do it.
Yeah.
They had to sign.
But see, when nobody trying to patent it, because that was just a thing that we were doing at that time, because we were kids, we were youngsters, we were teenagers, and that's all we were. We were blind.
That's what when I was in when I was in YTS, and the guys in LA, I'm telling them, call mama, and she said, yeah, they still running for them guys from Del Paso Heights, and they told me, when you get out, you gotta organize.
Yeah, that's what
And
you
they
did.
said, yeah, but you said you can't. It gotta be a car club.
And all that was for technical reasons, because you didn't want no gang.
No.
You know?
We couldn't have Mr. Garf. We had
that was our bulldozer. That was our wife. That was our
He
wife.
saw us washing cars and had the signs, and he took me.
Sacramento Boulevard.
Yeah, he took me, Charles, and Cecil down to Chief Rooney and
that was-
showed them the pictures that he took. He said,
And that
"It's
was
a
the
car
best thing.
club."
You had
Yeah.
our parole officer
Yeah.
taking pictures of us washing cars.
He said,
having
if
signs.
it was a gang,
But
I'd
it was
put him in jail.
it was all a gang. We was just a gang of kids, man. Just a gang, and we didn't care nothing about nothing and nobody. We did not care.
Sometimes we had it out with the adults too.
Yeah.
We had to whoop an adult one time.
Remember-
Right where the Touch of Class is now. That was the old Elks Club. And this guy named Brother, you remember him?
That's a Jimmy Ray's uncle.
Yeah. Man, we had to whoop that dude real good.
Yeah. But see, that was then.
See, we had to fight adults too, and we weren't scared because we figured like this: if you come at us, you ain't all goddamn afraid. And everybody in the neighborhood knew we was down for we Oak Park. Don't have you don't have to worry about nothing. You live in Oak Park. You can see people saying, "Y'all Majestic." Hey, you didn't care. You Oak Park. But when you come at us, you adult and you know what we about. Like we went to that party on 8th Avenue that time. And the girl said, "Oh no, there's the Majestic's in there." And that daddy came to that door, he said, "Wait a minute." He said, "It was my soul brothers. Let them in here." And it's so I got this hat on my head. Remember, we used to wear like a sombrero, and I had the patch there. And everybody just whispering, she said, so Birds, I'm standing up here, Bird, they got me like around me because I'm fresh out the hospital, And girl said, "Is your name Buster Bro?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, it is. He was like, I'm a fucking hero or something.
That's what he got from that leadership.
Right.
That's all that is. That kind of talk. All that built at that time our character up.
Yeah.
You know, because man, we're leaders and now everybody talking about it.
There go
You know,
Julie Darty.
you know, like when I told you this was a baseball town.
Mhm.
You know, and I learned my baseball from Jimmy Royster. And from that time on, I played baseball until I got to Sac High. When I went to Sac High, ain't but 2 classes I went to. First period
In June.
and sixth period, which is my math class
June.
and gym. That's the only 2 classes that I went to
Why did you go to math?
because I'm good at math.
You're good at math.
I learned algebra. I was in the 10th grade, and I'm already in algebra.
You know what? You can tutor my son.
No, I can't tutor nobody. You know, my mind is,
I'm sure it's
only thing I can tutor your son on is about Jesus.
I
Yeah.
would not do gym because I didn't like hotel.
I didn't like him either. But I played
He
for him.
wanted me to run track.
Who's hotel?
The coach.
Coach. Okay.
He wanted me to run
That's
track.
what the gym is named, Hotel Gym.
Right.
Yeah.
Hotel was a child molester.
You know.
I was in the city jail and they bought a hotel in there. And in some kind of way, it just went away.
And I said, if you got money, bro, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
He was born.
But we had hotel, we had Levitt,
Yeah, Levitt.
we had somebody start with an S. Hotel Levitt.
Smolders, or something like that.
But see, them all were
Snowden.
good coaches. Cause see, one was baseball, hotel was baseball. Levitt was I think basketball or
Tall, he was tall.
Yeah, and another guy was track. You
But
know?
see, hotel. Now the police used to run and try to catch us, and couldn't catch us. Could not catch nobody. And hotel knew I was fast, and he wanted me to run. I ain't doing nothing for you.
Hotel was a good coach.
He gave
Like I
me-
said, I didn't
I
like
knew-
him. I remember.
I didn't like it.
I remember when I broke into their
Peter calls
to their office because they had 3 offices. They had hotel office, Levitt's office, and the other guy. So I'm going through the drawers, and then I find a bottle of alcohol halfway gone. So I did my thing, put it back in there, and then when I come out of there, I went upstairs. You know, because upstairs in the gym you can see everything and hear everything. And I guess he must have turned that up. He was He said, "Oh, that you know." But that was about hotel. Hotel was he was a good coach though. Man. I got to give it to him because, like I said, I would. The only time I could play baseball, because I wouldn't come to practice. So when it came just before the game, he would make me rake the whole infield up, and I'd rake it up, and then bam, you know, because the girls used to always when I make my play or whatever, oh Judy, and I used to love it because that filled my head, that made my head fat.
He caused Tyrone Royster getting drafted. He wouldn't sign.
No, that's
He wouldn't sign Tyrone's
yeah,
scholarship.
But Jerry
No,
was one
he
guy.
was racist.
Yeah.
He wouldn't
But
sign
Tyrone was bad.
Tyrone's- He was way better player than
Jerry
Jerry.
was.
I remember we used to go play baseball, and Jerry, we had to babysit Jerry and another little brother.
When were you at Sac High? June?
That was in the 60s. That was
I graduated in '67.
that was 60. I was there 67, 68, and then 69 I went to the pen.
Yeah.
I was supposed to graduate in 1969.
So he was.
I was a
graduated before
midterm.
he did. Yeah.
You know, 'cause I was right after you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, because my birthday's in December, I had to wait. That's what made me a midterm.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
I mean, if I had it to do over again, I'd probably do the same thing. I mean, the military, I want to do this for at least 3 years, 4 years, you know, but maybe not so much as a fighting because it's just It was a whole lot of times I didn't want to fight. And there's a lot of times I didn't call war. I tell you what.
Somebody else called war?
No, there wasn't nothing would happen. But one time, this guy, Marion Lark, they wanted, he was on 16th Avenue, his house, remember? And they Bird them want to get him, want to call war. I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
That ain't for one time.
Yeah, so then,
I don't hate
but
her.
that one time saved my life.
And
Because
that's
you know
true.
what happened?
That's true.
I'm in Oakland in the game. I mean, I got kicked out the service, so I'm in Oakland. I can't do nothing. This was in 71, 72, 70. And I've got going out there. I'm in with the BGF, and I'm selling. You know, I'm not selling dope. I'm selling like quantities of crack. I mean,
That's dope.
yeah.
So
So
it's man-made.
I get a call in Alameda. So there's some apartments right by the Alameda Air Station. I go there, and the guy sees me. And when I get out the car, he walks out the house. He said, "Don't go in there, Buster." I said, "Larry." He said, "Man, don't go in there. Get in your car and leave." And he was getting, he said, I said, "Well, you know where I'm at on Myrtle." He said, "Yeah, I'll be over there." He goes over there, meets me back there on Myrtle, and they was finna rob me. Back them days when they rob you, they put you in the trunk of your car, take you to Campbell Village in West Oakland, and park your car. And somebody gonna find you because they're gonna smell your ass. So I said, "Damn, Mary, you need anything." So I tell the Godfather what's going on, you know, what happened. They went over there that night, I didn't go. And I never asked what happened. But that never happened to me. When I'm gonna make a delivery, you know. And they said, "You can't get out the game." I had told him, I am tired of this shit. You know, people was like, a little cramp. People was dying for nothing, I figured. You know, little $100, $200. And he said, "What you want to do?" I said, "Man, I'm going back to Sacramento because I'm a goddamn truck driver." Go ahead. And I walked away from it. And I still got friends, Sue Leggett, Billy Dempsey, all of them was in the game. They ain't in the game now, but I have seen them and been in their houses. They got, you know, they got away from the game, but we still friends. You know, and they said, Billy Dempsey, me and him was friends for years. And I went to Louisiana, all the stuff I got down there, I took the Hells Angels money. I was running. And he did too. He went to Chicago, I went to Louisiana and bought shit there. Well, when I finally came back, I still had to do fake. Hey, you know, the BGF kept them off of me. You know, but then, hey, you got to do us a favor. You got to make this shit right. So it had to be made right. You know, and I have a friend in the Hells Angels. You see